You don't miss them. Not really. You miss the version of yourself that existed when they were still around. That sentence might feel uncomfortable. Stay with it. It will make sense. You replay conversations that will never happen again. You reach for your phone to text them, then remember. You feel their absence in a song, a familiar smell, an empty seat, or a place you once shared. It feels like you're grieving them. But look a little closer at what actually hurts. It isn't only their face you're mourning. It's the version of you that felt safer, lighter, more confident, more alive, simply because they were there. Psychologists sometimes describe this as the relational self, the part of your identity that forms in relationship with another person. You are not one fixed self. You become slightly different with different people. A different version of you appears with family, another with close friends, another with someone you love. When that person leaves, the version of you that existed with them has nowhere to go. That's the ache. Not only the loss of a person, but the disappearance of a self that only seemed possible in their presence. This doesn't mean your love wasn't real. It means grief is more complicated than losing another human being. You're not broken for missing someone who wasn't good for you. You're not foolish for missing the idea of them. Your brain isn't malfunctioning. It's doing exactly what it evolved to do. Mourning a version of yourself it can no longer easily access. Here's why. Your brain doesn't store relationships as simple memories. It builds predictive models, constant expectations about who someone is, how they'll respond, what they'll say, how you'll feel, and who you'll become when you're with them. Neuroscientist Carl Friston's work on predictive processing suggests that the brain is constantly forecasting what comes next based on past experience. Around someone you loved, thousands of tiny predictions ran automatically every single day. Their laugh, their voice, their morning message, the version of you that appeared around them. When they're gone, those predictions don't disappear overnight. The model keeps running. It still expects their text, their presence, their reaction, and it still expects the version of you that existed beside them. This is why grief can feel physical, not because you're weak, but because your brain is still running a model for someone who is no longer there. So how do you heal? You don't heal by forcing yourself to stop missing them. You heal by rebuilding the self that feels missing. First, name the self, not just the person. Ask yourself, who was I when I was with them? Write it down. Make that version of you visible. Second, notice what you loved about that version. Maybe you laughed more. Maybe you felt creative. Maybe you felt safe enough to be completely honest. Those qualities never belonged to them. They belonged to you. They were simply awakened in their presence. Third, create new places where those qualities can exist again. New friendships, meaningful work, creative projects, moments of quiet solitude. The goal isn't replacing the person, it's giving that part of you another place to live. Fourth, allow your brain to update at its own pace. Every day without them teaches your mind something new. Little by little, the predictions change. The emotional weight begins to soften. Not because you're forgetting, because your brain is learning how to become someone new. Finally, allow yourself to grieve the version of you that feels lost. That grief is real. And unlike longing for someone forever, it can slowly transform into gratitude for the person you once became. Here's the image to carry with you. You didn't only lose a person, you lost a mirror. One specific reflection of yourself that only that relationship could create. The mirror is still there, but it's empty now.
You can stand there forever, waiting for the old reflection to return, or you can step forward and discover a new one. You are not chasing a person back, you are searching for yourself in a place they used to stand. That version of you isn't gone, it's waiting to be discovered again, through different people, different experiences, and the life still unfolding in front of you. Not because time does all the healing, but because your mind, quietly, patiently, never stops learning how to become someone new.